He goes, that's what I want to talk to you about. He goes, the money you gave me, I worked really hard and I got a scholarship. I don't need your money anymore.
For 3 whole decades, America adored a man they thought they knew inside and out. Jay Leno, a TV legend who wore a polished smile for the cameras while hiding a secret life no one saw coming. Beneath those bright studio lights, Jay lived 2 different worlds that never seemed to collide. Behind the jokes and applause was a man obsessed with gasoline, steel, and roaring engines that fueled his real passion. No one had a clue until all the pieces finally snapped into place. The truth about Jay Leno's double life is jaw-dropping. Born in 1950 in New Rochelle, New York, Jay grew up in a modest family. His father, Angelo Leno, was a hard-working Italian-American insurance salesman. His mother, Catherine Muir, came straight from Scotland, a calm, practical woman who kept everyone grounded. His older brother, Patrick, served in Vietnam and later became a lawyer, showing just how deeply discipline ran in the family. The Lenos lived simply, believing in sweat, effort, and perseverance above everything else. Jay's real childhood playground wasn't a park. It was an old garage in Andover, Massachusetts. That's where he learned patience, tinkering for hours with engines, tools, and gears. He couldn't resist taking things apart just to see what made them tick. That same curiosity, that spark for discovery, later became the same thrill he felt when making a crowd burst out laughing. After high school, Jay made his move to Emerson College in Boston, choosing speech therapy as his major, and graduating in 1972. But his true stage was waiting. In his dorm room, he launched the college's very first comedy club, turning late-night laughs into a full-blown mission. By day, he was under the hood of cars at a local garage. By night, he was cracking jokes in smoky bars around town. That double life started right there. In the 1970s, Boston's comedy scene was exploding, and Jay was right in the middle of it. He once said, "By day, I was covered in grease. By night, surrounded by laughter." 2 completely different worlds, but both taught him grit, timing, and endurance. In 1973, he packed up and headed west, to Los Angeles. The city of stars was calling, and Jay wanted his shot. He found a mechanic job in Burbank, fixing engines by day, and hit the stage at the Comedy Store by night. The pay was tight, barely enough to cover rent, but Jay didn't care. He saved every penny and never stopped grinding. Then came his big break. After 4 long years of hustling through clubs, Jay landed an invite to appear on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson on March 2nd, 1977. The moment he stepped onto that stage, his life changed forever. His calm rhythm and clever jokes got genuine laughs and caught Carson's sharp eye. From that night on, Jay became a regular guest. His national rise had officially begun. By the late 70s, Jay's name started popping up everywhere. He wrote for Good Times, acted in Fun with Dick and Jane, One Day at a Time, and Alice. In 1978, he even hit the big screen with American Hot Wax and Silver Bears. Every year, his reach grew wider, his comedy sharper. Soon enough, he was sharing stages with late-night heavyweights, joining Late Night with David Letterman and charming audiences across America. Jay Leno's comedy hit different. It was sharp, clean, and full of rhythm. He didn't act like a celebrity. He talked like a guy from the neighborhood, spinning stories people actually lived through. His humor wasn't flashy. It was honest, real, and full of that blue-collar charm that made everyone feel like they knew him personally. In the 1980s, Jay started filling in for Johnny Carson whenever Carson took short breaks. His calm presence, squeaky clean image, and flawless work ethic quickly caught NBC's attention. The producers loved him. He was never late, never canceled, never caused drama. While other comedians chased fame, Jay still spent his off hours in that same small garage in Burbank, covered in oil and grit. He wasn't fixing cars for fun. It was his therapy, his training ground. He once said, "Fixing a car is like writing a joke. You work on it until it runs." That line showed how deep his discipline ran. Jay would buy old rusted cars, rebuild them piece by piece, and flip them into stunning machines. It was patience turned into an art form. Between 1985 and 1988, Jay became a familiar face on weekend comedy shows. His smooth delivery and no-nonsense attitude made him stand out. By 1986, he had officially become Johnny Carson's go-to substitute host, a massive sign of trust in Hollywood. NBC started testing the waters, seeing how audiences reacted. One night he was surrounded by the scent of motor oil in his garage, and the next, he was standing under studio lights that could make or break his future. Jay was stepping into the moment that would define him. the point where backup became spotlight. But the road ahead was brutal, and only his iron discipline could keep him from burning out. Then came the golden era. On May 25, 1992, Jay Leno officially took over The Tonight Show from Johnny Carson. It was one of the biggest TV handoffs in history. He walked onto that legendary stage right as NBC entered a new generation of late-night comedy. The show aired every night at 11:35 p.m., and Jay's voice soon became the soundtrack of America's bedtime laughter. But that first year, it was rough. The pressure was unreal. Carson's loyal fans didn't trust anyone new behind that desk. Critics called him a safe but risky experiment, and newspapers doubted whether he could ever fill Carson's shoes. Jay didn't clap back or complain. He kept his head down and kept working, one show at a time. Slowly but surely, he won people over with humor that felt like home, steady pacing, easy jokes, and real-life observations that hit just right. Jay's work schedule was pure madness. He clocked around 18 hours a day, mornings packed with production meetings, afternoons filled with writing sessions, evenings at the studio, and late nights still performing at clubs around Los Angeles. It was like he couldn't stop moving. At his father's memorial in 1994, Jay gave a speech that revealed how heavy success really felt. He said, "You know, it really is lonely at the top. You have no idea, but we'll fight the good fight, Pop." That line cut deep. It showed that even at the peak of fame, he still carried the quiet ache of solitude. By 1995, The Tonight Show with Jay Leno became unstoppable. It dominated late-night TV, pulling over 5 million viewers each night and even overtaking David Letterman's Late Show. NBC couldn't believe the numbers. Ad revenue jumped by more than 30%, and Jay suddenly became the face of the entire network. Even with all that success, Jay refused to slow down. Off TV, he toured like a machine, around 150 shows a year, from glitzy Vegas stages to humble college auditoriums. He once said, "If I'm off stage for a few days, I start to miss the smell of the audience." That was Jay. No vacations, no breaks, just pure drive. Every mile, every show, every laugh, scheduled down to the minute, leaving zero time to rest. The late 1990s were the golden years of The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. The ratings were explosive, and Jay was unstoppable. In 1993, the special Cheers finale episode drew a mind-blowing 22 million viewers. And when the show hit its 10th anniversary in 2002, nearly 12 million people tuned in to celebrate. NBC was thrilled. Profits were sky-high, pulling in an estimated $30 million every single week. Inside that Burbank studio, Jay wasn't coasting. He was grinding harder than ever. Even during personal tragedy, his discipline never cracked. After his mother passed away in 1993, he took only 2 days off before jumping right back to work. Colleagues called him a machine with no weakness, but Jay kept it simple, saying, "I work, I sleep, then I work again. That's all." That's the kind of old-school work ethic that built his legend. By 2000, NBC began quietly plotting the next chapter of The Tonight Show. The execs picked Conan O'Brien as Jay's eventual replacement, setting the transition for 2009, almost a decade in advance, to avoid chaos later. Jay didn't protest or pout. At the press conference, he calmly said, "Every show needs a next chapter." Still, fans could tell, letting go of the desk wouldn't be easy. On May 29, 2009, Jay hosted what was supposed to be his final Tonight Show. After 17 straight years on top, he looked out at the Burbank crowd, colleagues, fans, and crew who had become family. The night ended with one simple, heartfelt line. "This has been the best job in the world." The audience roared, not knowing the storm that was about to hit NBC. Just months later, the network shocked everyone. Jay wasn't leaving television after all. NBC handed him a brand new primetime show, The Jay Leno Show. The decision threw the late-night world into chaos, sparking a massive clash between Jay and Conan O'Brien. Before that feud hit its peak, Jay had already marked 20 years in television as one of its hardest-working and most consistent figures. After 2 decades on the throne of late-night TV, he walked away, or so everyone thought. But Jay wasn't built to slow down. Instead of disappearing, he dove headfirst into a new chapter, one filled with roaring engines and the smell of motor oil. Away from the cameras and applause, he found peace where it all began, his garage. Then, in a wild twist, Jay returned. On March 1st, 2010, after a long and messy battle between NBC and Conan, Jay reclaimed The Tonight Show seat. It was controversial, dramatic, and unforgettable. The decision ended months of tension at the network, and once again, the ratings bounced back. Jay proved that even after decades, he still had the magic. He stayed on until February 6, 2014, when he finally passed the torch to Jimmy Fallon. His last episode was emotional, a true farewell to a man who had defined an entire era of late-night television. When he walked out of NBC that night, it wasn't the end, it was a transformation. Only a few months later, Jay switched gears completely, literally. He launched Jay Leno's Garage, a one-hour documentary special all about cars, engines, and the thrill of creation. The feedback was incredible, leading CNBC to turn it into a full-fledged series in 2015. Jay Leno's Garage ran strong through 2022, spanning 7 seasons of pure passion. Filmed at his private Burbank workshop, it mixed high-octane interviews, test drives, and celebrity hangouts, with guests like Elon Musk, President Joe Biden, and Jerry Seinfeld all joining the ride. On the show, Jay often said, "Cars are the only thing that make me quiet. When the engine starts, everything else stops." That line wasn't just poetic, it was his truth. For Jay, the garage became his sanctuary, a place where fame faded and engines spoke louder than applause. His legendary Big Dog Garage is like a temple for car lovers. It's packed with over 180 cars and 160 motorcycles, together worth more than $50 million. Every piece tells a story, every engine a heartbeat, and for Jay Leno, that's the sound of peace. Inside Jay Leno's legendary Big Dog Garage sit some of the rarest, wildest cars on Earth. Among the crown jewels is his 1994 McLaren F1, worth over $20 million, one of the fastest, most coveted machines ever built. He also owns 2 Doble steam cars that once belonged to aviation legend Howard Hughes, and a 1909 Baker Electric, a charming vintage beauty he gifted to his wife. And get this, Jay's the only person in the world with not 1, not 2, but 3 fully functional 1963 Chrysler turbine cars. Each of these rides purrs like a beast from another time. Every vehicle in that garage is treated like gold, restored by hand, recorded with exact technical notes, and personally test-driven by Jay himself. Nothing leaves his sight until it's running smooth as silk. Reporters call his garage a private museum where technology and memory coexist. And they're right, it's not just a collection, it's a living archive of automotive history. But Jay is not just about turning wrenches. Alongside his TV and car work, he writes the Motor Mouth column for Popular Mechanics. His articles dive deep into the guts of machinery, everything from rebuilding steam engines to testing the newest hybrid cars or even crafting jet-powered rides. His writing isn't flashy, it's real, grounded, and loaded with hands-on know-how. Every line shows his genuine love for engineering. Even after all these years, Jay's schedule is unreal. He still performs around 150 stand-up shows a year, zipping from city to city across America. People can't believe he keeps up that pace, but to Jay, it's just life. He says, "I still do the same thing, fix cars by day, perform by night. That's what keeps me sharp." It's that non-stop rhythm that's defined him since day one. When it comes to his personal life, Jay and his wife, Mavis Leno, keep things low-key. Married since 1980, they've built a quiet, private life together. No kids, no spotlight drama. Mavis has made her mark through activism, serving on the board of the Feminist Majority Foundation and working for women's rights around the world. Jay always says, "She's the one who taught me how to be quiet." Their bond is strong, rooted in respect and purpose. Back in 1998, the couple made headlines for a good reason. They donated $100,000 to help women in Afghanistan, a contribution still remembered in the foundation's history. They don't brag about charity, but their giving runs deep, supporting education programs and auto museums year after year. Now in his 70s, Jay hasn't slowed down one bit. His daily routine sounds like something out of a machine manual. 4 hours of sleep and 16 hours of work. When a reporter asked if he ever got tired, Jay laughed and said, "No, I'm still doing what I love. If I stop, I'll rust, like an engine that never runs." That line became his personal motto, a symbol of his never-quit mindset. But even the toughest engines can face breakdowns. When his fame finally settled and his career hit full stride, Jay's greatest challenges came roaring out of nowhere. In late 2022, a terrifying accident changed everything. It happened in November, inside his garage, while Jay was working on a 1907 white steam car. A small spark suddenly flared up in the fuel chamber, turning a routine repair into a nightmare. Flames erupted, and Jay suffered severe burns to his face, hands, and chest, second- and third-degree injuries that could have been life-threatening. He was rushed to the Grossman Burn Center in West Hills, where he spent 10 intense days undergoing treatment, including multiple skin grafts. The media exploded with images of his bandaged face, but Jay stayed quiet, as always. When he finally spoke, he kept it brief, saying, "My face was on fire." Those 4 words said it all: the pain, the fear, the shock. Doctors later revealed that his fast recovery came down to pure determination and that legendary work ethic that never quits. Jay Leno's life seemed built on motion, until fate kept trying to knock him off course. In early 2023, while riding one of his vintage motorcycles, tragedy struck again. A wire had been stretched across the road, nearly invisible, and Jay hit it head-on. The impact threw him off balance, breaking his collarbone and 2 ribs in an instant. But even laid up in the same hospital from his burn recovery, he refused to stop working. When reporters asked about it, Jay just smirked and said, "I cracked a few parts, but the laughter's still intact." That quick humor, pure Leno. By mid-2023, when the press asked how he could keep enduring so many accidents, he shrugged it off like it was nothing. "I grew up in a garage. Accidents are normal," he said. And he meant it. Just 3 weeks later, he was back on stage in Las Vegas, performing for a roaring crowd of over 2,000 people. Under those bright lights, no one could even tell his face had been through reconstructive surgery. He looked and sounded like the same old Jay, full of spark and rhythm. But the universe wasn't done testing him. In early 2024, while filming a car test in Pennsylvania, Jay faced yet another scare. He slipped and tumbled down an 18-meter slope, shattering his wrist and bruising his face again. When asked later how he felt, Jay gave a simple, classic answer: "Feeling good. As long as I can work, I'm alive." That dry, no-nonsense attitude showed the fighter in him, the guy who never lets pain stop him. His fans were worried, but Jay didn't take a break for even a second. Just 1 week later, he showed up at a vintage car show in California, arm still bandaged, but grin unshaken. A close friend recalled that right after his fall, Jay's first words weren't about pain or panic. He said, "Is the car okay?" Then he asked for an ambulance. That's how deep his love for machines runs. Yet 2024 brought more than physical challenges. It hit him where it hurt most. That year marked a heartbreaking turn in Jay's personal life. His wife, Mavis Leno, was diagnosed with progressive memory loss. For a couple that had always guarded their privacy, the news came out only because of court documents in Los Angeles. On April 1, 2024, the court granted Jay full legal guardianship over Mavis's medical and financial affairs. In his official filing, Jay wrote that his only goal was to make sure every care decision is made with love and absolute safety. After the hearing, he spoke softly to reporters, saying, "What love is, to take care of each other when one can't." Those words hit everyone listening straight in the heart. According to court records, Mavis's doctors confirmed she had advanced dementia and required full-time care. Some days, she no longer recognized Jay, the man she'd spent over 4 decades with. Even so, Jay never stopped showing up for her. He continued bringing her to small events, explaining that keeping a steady routine helped her stay calm and connected. His loyalty didn't fade. It grew stronger through heartbreak. By the summer of 2024, Jay returned once again to the screen, wearing his trademark denim and that familiar grin for a new episode of Jay Leno's Garage. In it, he proudly introduced a restored vintage electric car, his hands moving confidently over every curve of the machine. Despite everything, his energy was still there, steady, passionate, unstoppable. Later that same year, the media revisited his string of accidents and asked if he ever felt cursed. Jay just laughed and said, "I don't think I've had trouble. I just fix cars, and sometimes the cars fight back." That witty line summed him up perfectly: resilient, grounded, and always ready with a joke, no matter how rough life got. Doctors confirmed that Jay made a full physical recovery. His burns healed cleanly, his bones mended strong, and his spirit stayed untouchable. After all the chaos, the pain, and the setbacks, Jay Leno still moved with that same unbreakable rhythm, Fix by day, laugh by night. By the start of 2025, Jay Leno's story had shifted. It wasn't just about endurance anymore. It was about passion, purpose, and what it really means to keep your fire burning when time tries to slow you down. After 2 rough years filled with recovery and heartbreak, Jay turned 75, still running at full speed like the world hadn't changed at all. Even after everything, his rhythm never broke. His new stand-up tour kicked off in February in Florida and rolled strong all year, through Connecticut, New Jersey, Nevada, and California. A total of nearly 170 shows. Every venue was packed to the walls. Some came to laugh, others came just to see the man who'd stared down 3 life-threatening accidents and still walked back into the spotlight with a grin. There were no flashy effects, no drama, no grand entrances. Jay kept it old school, simple and real. He'd stroll on stage, tap the mic, smile at the crowd and say, "I just finished fixing a car and it didn't blow up." Every time the room erupted, that line became a mix of humor and triumph, a wink to his scars and his survival. Meanwhile, Jay Leno's garage kept thriving online. By 2025, the series had evolved with the times, spotlighting electric cars and cutting-edge auto tech. In one popular test drive clip featuring the Cadillac Celestiq, Jay cracked a grin and said, "I don't buy them all. I just keep the ones that make me happy." His voice was calm, his delivery smooth, but that signature wit still hit perfectly. Another viral episode featured the Ford GT hybrid, where Jay took it for a spin around the Burbank track. He broke down every detail, the handling, the throttle response, the engine's whispery growl, with that mechanic's precision fans loved. No hype, no sales pitch, just pure gearhead honesty. Beneath the video, tens of thousands of comments poured in, echoing the same line. "He's not old, he's just continuing." And they were right. Jay's health was still shocking people. His energy could put men half his age to shame. He still slept just 4 hours a night, woke up early, drank cold water instead of coffee, and refused to touch alcohol, cigarettes, or sugar. His personal doctor even joked, "He's the only patient I know who never takes a day off." Jay loved that so much he turned it into a punchline during his set. Financially, he was doing just fine too. His estimated net worth hovered around $450 million, with his jaw-dropping car collection making up about 10 to 15% of that. His big dog garage in Burbank wasn't just a storage space, it was his kingdom. Every day, Jay could be found there, sleeves rolled up, working with his small, trusted crew of mechanics, restoring classic cars piece by piece, keeping the heartbeat of history alive. Then came one of those moments that showed who Jay really is. In January 2025, when massive wildfires tore through Los Angeles, Jay didn't sit back. He jumped in. He and a group of friends rolled out in his vintage fire truck, hauling food and water to help exhausted rescue teams. While most celebrities stayed behind cameras or posted online tributes, Jay was out there getting his hands dirty, literally driving through the smoke to lend a hand. That's just who he is. No red carpets, no speeches, no spotlight needed. He's a man of action, not applause. Reporters kept asking why he didn't show up to collect all the honors and lifetime awards being offered. Jay's answer stayed the same. "I don't like standing in front of a camera to get a trophy." That simple line summed him up perfectly. Humble, relentless, and still burning bright after all these years. At 75, Jay Leno wasn't slowing down. He was just living the same way he always had, fixing engines, cracking jokes, and proving that real passion never gets old. Jay Leno once said, "I like standing in a garage doorway, watching smoke rise from the exhaust." That simple line said it all. It wasn't just about cars. It was about work, peace, and the satisfaction of building something real with your own hands. That's the same spirit that's driven him since his youth. Steady, grounded, unstoppable. In one rare interview, when asked about his wife, Jay's tough exterior softened. His eyes glimmered as he said, "She's still got the fire." That's what love is. Then he paused, silent for a few seconds, before quickly changing the topic back to cars, almost like he needed the engines to steady his heart. That brief, unguarded moment revealed more than any headline ever could. It showed why he keeps going every single day. By the end of 2025, Jay made one of his few public appearances at a fundraising event for burn patients in California, a cause deeply personal to him. The crowd expected jokes, maybe a few stories from his career, but Jay kept it short and humble. His voice cracked slightly as he said, "They're the ones who helped me look at my face again and keep smiling." It was a powerful reminder of gratitude from a man who had faced fire, pain, and loss, and still stood proud. Even with his relentless schedule, Jay never forgot his roots or his people. He continued to open up his Big Dog Garage for small gatherings, inviting car lovers and young mechanics to learn, share, and connect. Surrounded by the gleam of chrome and the scent of oil, he showed them how to restore engines, how to build patience, and most importantly, how to love the work. He always told newcomers, "Don't chase fame, chase skill. That's how legends are made." As the year wound down, Jay's routine never wavered. Weekends were for stand-up shows, weekdays for filming Jay Leno's garage, and mornings for inspecting engines in the workshop. The man who once ruled late-night TV had found balance between two worlds, one filled with bright stage lights, the other echoing with the low hum of engines and the cold touch of steel. After more than 50 years in the game, Jay Leno hadn't changed much. He just refined who he already was. The performer and the mechanic had merged into one, forming the portrait of a tireless craftsman in an age of fast fame and short attention spans. Jay proved that passion isn't about chasing trends, it's about staying true to what makes you come alive. If stories like this move you, if you're inspired by people who live fully and keep their fire burning no matter what, then don't just scroll away. Hit that like button, drop a comment below, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you never miss our next deep dive into the lives of icons who never stop working, creating, and dreaming. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.